Happening out there. Well, an organization we love to talk about, the Chrysalis Foundation, has a Conversations speaker series starting up tomorrow, but we want to get all the details and make sure you mark the future ones on your event calendar as well. So always excited to have the executive director of the Chrysalis Foundation, Terry Hernandez, joining us in studio. Thank you
very much. Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, great to see you.
Thank you.
Celebrating a big anniversary.
30 years, hard to believe. I was around for 22 of them, but 30 years the foundation has been.
So obviously there's a passion there and something that you learned 22 years ago and now leading up to being executive director of the foundation. Talk a little bit about that and what Chrysalis does on a regular basis.
Chrysalis was started in 1989 to fund programs for girls and women. There was just felt that girls and women experienced a lot more disparities, a lot more problems, and there wasn't a lot of funding going that direction. So the three founders created Chrysalis, and it grew from there. They hired me, and here we are today, 30 years later, doing a lot of the great stuff we're doing.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk more about those three founders here in a matter of moments because you're honoring them in various events throughout the year. But let's get to what's happening tomorrow and how you're fueling your ambition and what you do on a regular basis by introducing the community to some pretty outstanding women.
We are. Chrysalis Conversations has become a known series, a luncheon series, featuring women in local positions who are doing amazing things. So tomorrow being the first of our series of 3 for our 30th year, it will feature 2 activists in the ilk of our founder, Louise Noun, and they will tell their stories of what spurred them to get going, what prompted them to take action, and what they really believe in, and share the same passion that started Louise down the path of activism so many years ago.
Okay, who we bringing in?
We will bring in Miyoko Hikiji, who is a military veteran, written a book, and has a lot of action and activity around veterans and veterans' experiences. And Vanessa Espinoza is a young woman who took action when she began to realize that a lot of her culture, a lot of residents of her culture didn't have the educational skills, the reading skills that we have in this country. So she took it upon herself to begin tutoring, started a scholarship program, and still continues to teach adults and children how to speak English well and how to navigate the education system.
And she's getting a pretty big honor statewide as well for her work in the Latino community.
Yes, she got a Latino Leadership Award from the state and is still highly recognized for all of the work that she's doing on her own volition and on her own dime. Created a scholarship program to make sure that Latinos and Latinas have every opportunity to go forward in education.
Absolutely. So let's talk more about the Conversations series. How does it work? We saw there with the event full screen that is at the Wakanda Club.
Yes.
So tickets still available tomorrow, or do we need to look forward to the next 2?
Tickets are still available.
Okay.
So if they call us by the end of the day today, by 5 o'clock at the Chrysalis Foundation, they can get in. We'd love to have them. The lunch starts at 11:30. We begin our program shortly after that, and the speakers will share their stories. We'll have some Q&A, and we'll have an opportunity for others in the community to just learn a little bit more about Louise, our founder, tomorrow as we celebrate the origins of Chrysalis.
What are some of the things that people say after some of your events, some of your luncheons that happen? What's some of the feedback that you're getting?
You know, people really enjoy, first of all, getting together, because very often we don't have the opportunity to do that. But they also are introduced to women who are doing some really remarkable things that they may never have heard about. Or if they've heard about, they've never really heard their story. So we feel it's a great opportunity for us to bring them forward, have them share their wisdom, and give some teachable ideas to people who are at the luncheon who may learn that's something that I might think about, or here's a way I might approach something, and they learn as well as enjoy just meeting these amazing women.
Yeah, truly being inspired. Now you mentioned you're doing 3 this year for 30 years. So there's a couple other dates we want to make sure people mark on their calendar because it truly is a wonderful way. We're all going to eat lunch anyway, so why not eat lunch together?
Best place to do it.
Best place to do it. Be inspired. So I know we have a full screen that shows the 2 other dates. I want to make sure you mark in your calendar now, and of course I'm sure we'll talk about them as they get closer. But April 17th and May 22nd. If you need more details or want to get tickets for the one happening tomorrow, highly encourage you checking out the website, chrysalisfdn.org. But let's really quickly go back to the fact that we're celebrating 30 years,
Yes.
and there is 3 strong women back in the day that knew this was something they had to put together, and we have the images of the 3 founders. If you could talk a little bit about each one of these amazing women and how they made an impact.
Be happy to. Louise Rosenfield now is a woman who really didn't become an activist until well into her midlife, but she began to see things that she thought were disparities, primarily in civil liberties and social justice, and then around the issues of girls and women. And she took action, spent a lot of time trying to create a women's foundation and trying to pull people together to do that. Finally, in 1989, she said, you know, if nobody else will step forward, then I'm going to put my money on the table and step forward and start Chrysalis, fully imagining that it would evolve into something big and beautiful and community supported like it is today.
All right,
Absolutely.
now the next image we have is someone that a lot of people are very familiar
Yes. Senator Elaine Simoniak was a trailblazer.
Yes.
She was a city councilwoman, she was a state senator, really responsible for a lot of major things that people don't think about. The Skywalk system, she was responsible for bringing the World Food Prize to Des Moines. There are just a lot of activities that she did sort of under the radar.
Right.
But she also worked in issues of gender justice and social justice. So Louise now invited her as one of the other founders to establish Chrysalis.
Wonderful. And one other amazing woman we want to talk about, Barbara Barrett.
Barbara Barrett, an attorney who happened to be an attorney that Louise became acquainted with, and they had a common passion for women and girls. Louise felt that Barbara brought with her not only the legal skills, but the community knowledge, and Barbara had been involved in the YWCA, a lot of other women's organizations in the community, and brought that legal perspective, but also the passion.
Unbelievable.
The founding ladies.
They are. They're the team of founders.
Love it. And we'll continue to celebrate them throughout the year as
Yes.
Chrysalis Foundation is celebrating 30 years of going strong. And a way to do that is a community and coming together over a delightful lunch. And 2 amazing speakers is all happening tomorrow with the Conversation series.
Please come. We'd
And
love
there
to
are
see-
tickets available.
There are tickets. We'd love to have people come.
Wonderful. Go check out the website,
you.
learn more, get registered, and find out what Chrysalis Foundation is all about at chrysalisfdn.org. Terry, always great to see you. Thank you for joining us
I'm thrilled
this
to be
morning.
here.
Thank you so
you.
much. All right.